Hey guys, what's going on? So, if you haven't already subscribed to Momo Royale, here's another reason to. Usually I send all my people there whenever they hate me talking for great length about things, but sometimes when I talk about great length about things, it gives you a little bit more information than just gameplay videos. And that's why I do it. Because if you went to Momo Royale's channel, he just posted a dev build about the new hero upgrade system. Now, just to go through this really quickly, after I skip through this ad that I can't skip through, just to go through this really quickly, there is a very big thing that you could obviously notice, that's probably gonna get people really angry. If they don't understand it. And that is that levels for max hero now go to 80, right? Now, I originally read that, and I'm probably going to delete my 2 posts about them because I now have new information, and as we get new information, we are able to change our opinions about things. And here's the thing. So, when you upgrade your levels, right, and you can go through this video if you want to, when you upgrade your levels, you're going to be getting these little star coins on the bottom here, these little star coins, and what those coins are giving you at each ranking, you're able to upgrade these 4 things, right? These are all the things that you would normally get from each hero. And so instead of the game automatically upgrading it for you, you're now spending them how you see fit when you get them on this. And that is how you were going to upgrade the thing. And then you can, you get better percentages. And if this was your next question, at max, when you get to level 80 and you have enough coins to upgrade all of the things, it is going to be equivalent to your level 20 currently. So the amount of shards, also, second point, the amount of shards that you're going to be required, so right here from level 55, upgrading to 60, they're the same, they're essentially the same amount of shards that you need. And so essentially, if you have a level 20, you're basically going to have a level 80 currently. And so my biggest question was, when you upgrade a Zeus, you see how it's 1 shard to upgrade a Zeus from level 9 to level 10? It is also 1 shard to obtain a Zeus. Now, originally, it was 25 shards to even unlock a legendary hero, and then it was like 5 shards to upgrade it from like 0 to, or from 1 to 2, and then 5 shards to from 2 to 3, and then 5 shards, right? And it's an insane amount of shards. And currently in my game, I have a level 6 Necromancer. So I was going to make this whole like diatribe of, you know, like whether or not they were going to give you compensation for that, because I've never thought about compensation in this game. Like whenever they change something, I've never thought, oh, hey, give me something back, right? But with this, like people dropped large quantities of money on heroes. And if they were going to say that, oh, you are now currently at a level 20, you know, Zeus, now the level cap is 80, you need that many more shards to get to 80, because that's how I originally, as much as many of you, that's how I originally read this, and that's why I thought that this is gonna be the thing that burns the game to the ground. If you need the equivalent amount of shards to get to 20 and then more to get to 80, that would be fucking insane, right? And so when I realized that to go from 0 or to unlock, it's 1. And then from 1 to 2, it's 1. And then from 2 to 3, it's 1. And then from 3 to 4, it's 1. I was like, wait a second, what is the breakdown on the shards? Like how many shards is it to get to a level 20? So I went into the content creator Discord, and I had this conversation with who is, I'm pretty sure, the top of the top, right? Or at least that's how I know him, Haster. Whenever there is a like very specific question that we need to ask, it's usually directed towards him, and he knows the actual answer. So I said, does somebody have the graph on how many legendary hero shards you need? The old one, right? The old one referring to the current one. And he said, what do you mean the old one? And I was like the amount of shards that you need currently, not an updated 27.01. And he said the same amount. So then it led me to my big question. Will everybody get their heroes upgraded to the levels that they would be at? For example, unlocking a Zeus costs 25, but now it costs 1. Will the 25 be applied to the new system? For instance, I have a level 6 Necromancer. Will that be much higher after the update, or will it stay a level 6? Because they could do either. They could either say that you have been able to play with a level 6 Necromancer, right? And so, you, with a level 6 Necromancer, since, the game came out, you've been playing with a level 6 Necromancer, and now it'll be cheaper for your journey. Your journey will now be cheaper to go from 6 to 80, right? It'll be much less shards, but technically, I've already gotten a large quantity of shards just to get it to level 6. But then they could say like, oh, well now it'll just be easier to go from 6 to 80 than it would have been for you to go from 6 to 20, right? And that's true. Kind of, right? And so that was my question. Will the new change, because they've now changed the system, will the new change be reflected in what you currently have now? And so this was his response. I'm not sure that I understand you correctly. Your level 6 will transform into a level 24. And that was my question. Will I have the same level 6 or will it be higher? And he said that it will transform into a level 24 out of 80, which makes sense because it's a very low level Necromancer. So I said, oh, thanks, got it. Yeah, that was my question. Do you mind if I share that? I feel like people knowing that will avoid unnecessary hate for no reason. And he said, sure. And then he added this. As for the heroes in 27.0, in brief, rare and epic heroes will require ×2 fragments, but you will also be getting ×2 more rewards in the game. So for rare and epic heroes, it is gonna be more. And so your current heroes will be higher if you've maxed. I'm assuming that if you max them out, it'll probably be an 80. But if it's less than that, it might be less. I mean, like, I have so many spillover fragments that even if it was higher, I'm probably still going to have an 80. And even if not, most rare and epic, or I guess most rare heroes you wouldn't normally use, maybe like a J. But he's also saying that even though it's going to be double the fragments, you're going to have expeditions in the game that are going to help you get those fragments. In addition to those double reward increments, you will have expeditions that will definitely add to the number of fragments that you find. Those who think otherwise just didn't calculate it correctly. And those who think that, once again, these developers want money probably have issues with math. Because what's happening is legendary heroes are going to be the same amount, but common or rare and epics are going to be double. But I have so many, most people have so much spillover that it's probably just going to make you have basically an 80 anyway. The overall fragment requirements for upgrading commons and legendaries haven't changed. So your trainer is going to be, or your captain are going to be the same, bestie is going to be the same, and then all of your legendary heroes are also going to be the same, and then whatever you had prior to, it's going to apply to the new system. In the mercenary store and in expeditions, you will be able to acquire a legendary with gold or free in expeditions. That's exciting. I did see, for free in expeditions, I did see a I believe, one of the Twitch people, is streaming 27.0, and there was a chance at one legendary fragment. So don't expect a lot. Temper your expectations. But I believe the expedition system is, I believe it's basically a time-based system. I'll be 1 second. Okay, so this is from Lexus TTV. Shout out to him. This was his stream. He was streaming. This is it. Expeditions are a special form of adventure for your heroes. Depending on the division, you'll have up to 5 portals where expeditions can be sent for hero fragments and other valuable rewards. There are 3 types of expeditions, regular, great, and legendary. Obviously, you're going to get legendary fragments from the legendary one. Each expedition takes a certain length of time depending on the type of expedition and the heroes involved. Expeditions are updated with daily quest updates. The higher the division, the more often you will have access to great and legendary expeditions. They provide guaranteed and extra rewards. You can get an extra reward by assembling the support team drawn from certain units. There's a small chance that you will receive a relic chest, which contains valuable rewards. The chance of a relic chest depends on the type of expedition, the team assembled, and the use of the Seeker's Compass. When you complete an expedition, you're guaranteed to receive random, epic, rare, or common hero fragments. So this is where you're getting all of your commons, rares, and epics as just a, if you've ever played a different game where you send a team on a mission, on a quote-unquote mission, you just like, you know, assemble a quote-unquote team, and then, you know, it's like a, what's it called, like an AFK kind of deal where this expedition takes 4 hours. And you send these units to that thing. And then, you know, you just press the button, and in 4 hours you come back, and then your team comes back with rewards. It's basically a passive way to get fragments. The fact that they are adding this into the game, even if it's at a slow rate, I think that's good. The fact that they're giving you free fragments just because, to do nothing, I think that's good. The way that this works is like this. So you have a 5% chance of getting, so you have a common, rare, epic, right? And then you have a 5% chance of getting a special chest as well. And then this is your support team. You need a level 13 vampire and you need a level 13 Ivy. And then you can send them on the team. I think there was another, and then this was what the expedition looks like. And then the mercenary camp is what Haster was saying. This is where you can also buy fragments as well with gold. But yeah, I think that this is a fine change. I think that forcing upgrades is going to be certainly a way that they make people increase their crit. I don't know how I like that, but I guess if you don't want to increase your crit and upgrade your cards, like I obviously have like, you know, max vampire, max Ivy. So that doesn't matter to me, but if you're only going to be able to have access to legendary expeditions through having max Treant, max Bard, max, right? If you need like max event units at that point, I don't know. The fact that it's gated behind having levels, which is what Lexus TTV realized on stream. He realized that his vampire wasn't a 13 and his Ivy wasn't a 13, so we had to go and upgrade them. To have it gated behind needing specific requirements for levels sounds kind of crazy, but I guess we'll see. This is all subject to change, obviously. We don't know what this is a legendary expedition. And so this is the hardest of the expeditions. So at least it's not a maxed out team. Like it's a 13 vampire and a 13 Ivy. I don't know if the Treant requirement was a 12 or specifically a 12, or he just happened to have a 12. But yeah. And this is obviously the hardest of the expeditions to get the best chest as well. That will give you legendary hero fragments. And by fragments, I mean 1 fragment. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a different way to farm cards. I guess we'll see how it's implemented in 27.0 when it actually gets to the game. But my main takeaway for this specifically was the fact that if you have a high level legendary hero, you are going to have it upgraded once the update drops. It's going to account for the amount of fragments. So I will not just have a level 6 Necromancer, I'll have a level 24. Your common, rare, epic heroes, your rare and epic heroes might be a little bit less than 80 if you are not at a 20, and maybe if you are at a 20, maybe they are going to force you to get more fragments if you don't have a lot of spillover fragments, but I don't think that that's going to be that big of a change. I think if you have a level 20, you're probably going to be pretty close to level 80 if they do that with everything. In the sense that, like, since I have a level 6 Necromancer, it's going to be a level 24. If they do that with everything, with commons, rares, and epics, with rares and epics that are going to be doubled, even if it's double the requirements, you're probably still going to be pretty close to an 80 anyway. So don't be too afraid of that 80 number, is what I'm trying to say.